So let me ask you a question right out of the gate. Do you actually know your constitutional rights as a Kenyan? Or, are you like a lot of folks who are just kind of hoping nobody ever violates them? Because the truth is, most citizens don't even realize when their fundamental rights are being stepped on right in front of them. Well, in today's Explainer, we're going to change that.
Whether it's a random police encounter on your way home, sitting in a high-stakes job interview, or just speaking your mind online, your day-to-day life is directly affected by Chapter 4 of the Constitution. You probably know it as the Bill of Rights. Now, this isn't just a bunch of dense legal jargon meant for lawyers and stuffy courtrooms. No, it's actually the real-world rulebook for your daily freedom and dignity.
And here is absolutely the most crucial point, found right in Article 19. Quote, "The rights and fundamental freedoms belong to each individual and are not granted by the state." Stop and think about what that actually means for a second. These rights are inherent. You have them simply because you exist as a human being. They're like a protective shield you carry around everywhere. They are absolutely not some special favor that the government is just gracefully handing down to you.
Okay, to really understand how this shield works, let's map out our journey today. We're going to breathe through the foundation of your rights, core human rights and dignity, your active civil freedoms, protections for specific groups, the limits to your rights, and finally, how to actually defend and enforce them.
All right, kicking things off with Part 1, the foundation of your rights. Moving right along to Part 2, your core human rights and dignity.
So, how does this actually play out in the real world? Well, look at Article 27 on equality. It says every person is equal before the law, meaning if someone gets denied a job or a promotion purely because of their tribe or their gender or, get this, even their marital status, that is direct discrimination. The Constitution draws a hard line here. Neither the state nor private individuals can do this. Fairness in Kenya? It isn't just a polite request, it's a rigorous, absolute constitutional demand.
Okay, let's dive into Part 3, your active civil freedoms.
This is where we shift gears from passive protections to what you can actively do. You've got the freedom of expression to seek out and share ideas. The media, guaranteed independence. You even have the legal right to demand access to information held by the state. And this is a big one. Under Article 37, you have the right to peaceably assemble, demonstrate, and picket. So organizing a peaceful demonstration for better public services, that's not just making noise. It is you actively exercising your supreme constitutional rights.
But wait, it actually goes way beyond just civil liberties. Article 43 outlines your economic and social rights. We're talking the right to the highest attainable standard of healthcare, accessible housing, adequate food, clean water, social security, and education. This is a total game changer for how we look at governance. The state isn't just supposed to try, they are legally obligated to take real measures to progressively make these standards a reality for everyone.
Next up, Part 4, protections for specific groups. Because, let's be honest, true equality sometimes means taking deliberate action. Take statutory quotas, for instance. Article 54 establishes a hard rule. At least 5% of the members in elective and appointive public bodies must be persons with disabilities. That's not a gentle suggestion. It's a hard target baked right into the law to make sure representation and integration actually happen.
Along those same lines, the Constitution actively battles historical inequality with the famous two-thirds gender rule. Article 27 makes it crystal clear. No more than two-thirds of the members of elective or appointive bodies can be of the same gender. It's an incredibly powerful structural tool designed to literally force equal opportunity for both women and men in the public sphere.
All right, shifting to Part 5, the limits to your rights. Now, living in a functional democratic society means your rights do have boundaries. Take freedom of expression. Yes, you have a constitutionally protected right to speak your mind, absolutely. But look at where the line is drawn. That right flat out does not extend to propaganda for war, incitement to violence, or hate speech. You can't use your freedom to spread hate or trample on the rights of others. Any limit put on your rights has to be totally reasonable and justifiable.
Yet even with those calculated limits, there are absolute rights. Rights that can never, ever be restricted under any circumstance, not even during a declared state of emergency. Article 25 lists them out. Freedom from torture, freedom from slavery, the right to a fair trial, and the right to an order of habeas corpus, which basically protects you from being locked up unlawfully. These are the unbreakable, non-negotiable lines in the sand for human dignity.
Finally, let's wrap up with Part 6, defending and enforcing your rights. Because let's face it, a right without a remedy is basically just ink on a page, right? If you're ever arrested, Article 49 gives you a very precise timeline of protection.
The exact moment you're arrested, you must be promptly informed of why, and of your right to remain silent. If you're detained, you have to be held separately from people who are already convicted. And here is the absolutely critical part, the 24-hour rule. Law enforcement has to bring you before a court within 24 hours, period. Any deviation from that timeline, that's a direct violation of your rights.
And if your rights are violated, Article 22 empowers you to take it straight to court. And the whole system is built to be accessible to everybody, not just the wealthy elite. Procedural formalities kept to an absolute minimum. The court will even accept informal documentation. And incredibly, they won't even charge you a fee to start these proceedings. The court can step right in, grant injunctions, strike down bad laws, or even award you compensation. But hey, if the courts aren't your preferred first step, you've got another heavy-hitting option. Article 59 establishes the Kenyan National Human Rights and Equality Commission. Literally anyone can take a complaint directly to them. They act as this independent watchdog, specifically mandated to investigate abuses, monitor compliance, and actively step in to get you the appropriate redress.
So, as we wrap up this explainer today, I want to leave you chewing on this question. Are these rights fully respected in Kenya today? Or do we only really remember them when something goes terribly wrong? You see, the Bill of Rights isn't some dusty museum piece. It's a living, breathing tool for accountability. The Constitution hands you immense power to demand fairness and dignity, but that only works if you actually understand it. So how are you going to champion your rights today? Thanks so much for joining me. Stay curious, and hey, always keep asking the right questions.